Today, we have a growing modern obsession with the terrifying idea that our entire physical universe is just code. Philosopher Nick Bostrom famously used probability math to argue that we are likely living in what he calls an ancestor simulation. If that math is right, we face a terrifying traditional conclusion. We are cut off from base reality, existing within a total fiction. This Cartesian fear suggests non-physical worlds are illusions. But in Reality Plus, David Chalmers accepts the math while arguing our reaction is wrong. He proposes a realist reading, virtual realism, where even a simulated world is genuine. This approach forces us to re-examine what actually makes something real. Take a mundane object like this wooden table. If every atom is actually a line of code, can we still call it real? Chalmers' first pillar, the it from bit hypothesis, suggests reality is defined by its causal structure rather than its base material. A perfectly simulated table possesses the same causal structure as a biological one. It is simply built from computational information instead of atoms. Because its functions and interactions are identical, the digital table is a genuine object. If objects can be digital and real, we have to look at ourselves. We often fear that simulated people are just philosophical zombies, or NPCs. The third pillar, organizational invariance, states that mental properties like consciousness depend on the complex organization of a system, not its substrate. If a system shares the exact organizational structure of a biological brain, it is conscious, whether those patterns run on neurons or silicon. This means any simulated entity with this specific organization possesses an authentic mind. But even if the world and the mind are technically real, can a life made of code actually be meaningful? A meaningful life requires authentic relationships, personal goals, and the experience of beauty or morality. A digital framework supports all of these human experiences, allowing a virtual world to host a deeply meaningful existence. We currently have no empirical evidence to rule out the possibility that we are in a simulation. Chalmers' second pillar, the epistemic rescue, argues that our inability to know our base reality doesn't matter. The skeptical threat loses its power. Since virtual reality is genuine, our everyday beliefs that our chairs are solid and our loved ones are real remain true regardless of the universe's origin. This shifts the focus away from Bostrom's question of probability and towards Chalmers' focus on metaphysics. Even if the probability of being in a simulation is 99%, it changes nothing about the validity of our lives. Simulated worlds are simply different forms of genuine reality, waiting to be lived in.